Hello, America. Since the World Trade Center attack and before it, the same people, Connecticut Interbranch, have been fabricating audio and video into databases with the other countries involved and with the investigators of that. They stack more names of themselves and of others while they're fabricating audio and video into databases, offensively preventing responses, while we have evidence racketeering originally and still as clear as day. Now we have worse than criminal incompetence with all involved with the elections, because all their help is locations, areas, and states criminally foreign influence. So it is important, because the news also attached me and others to fake words, offensively to prevent us from having mandated law, and you Americans with the World Trade Center attack. Names forging and switching doctors and sequence shifting, and ones associated with personally with the prosecutors criminally involved, like a Brian Silver, I believe he's a prosecutor, and a Christine Bedard and Tardet, and there's other named Christine, a bunch of people with the name Christine involved with the courts with uses of Facebook with their evidence racketeering, and they're preventing people from responses in court since founding, pounding drums. So we have fake sides, and they have that force to pretend their integrity anyway. That's one of the ways they have, they entertain that because they say, the other side's worse. So what we have to do is have mandated law followed, and we have to use as evidence where the people that are pretending to be about mandated law are not. They have the Facebook pages of Fox News and of CNN involved with their sources, also with Connecticut News people, with the buildings on off their locations. They have it on off because of the way identities are used and because of the way confessions are used, from on the locations and off the locations. Then people want to debate and pretend like their differences and their positive or negative treatments, their identity treatments were in relation to this or that, but there's other mixed in there. Since founding, we have answers that are very simple. They're only extensive, but we have experts and professionals offensively with physical delusions and with criminally foreign influence premises treatments and rackets associated with that, originally still uncharged but recorded clear as day. So we need mandated law followed. Weathersfield, Connecticut has a police chief named Cintron. That name is also by other people, and his daughter is involved. Now these are with people associated with, what do they call, bakeries, intercities. In other words, on Franklin Avenue, there's a whole bunch of people. On Franklin Avenue's got a spot that runs like right along into the side of Hartford Hospital. So they have people involved with drugs crimes, with the policing of those of the medical campuses that are involved with the doctors and all that stuff like that. It has to do with their covering of lie progressions, their roles with campuses of each age and nature with connections that are missed because they invested everyone that's tied to Washington D.C. and World Trade Center syntax, fact, treatment, nature, relationships, intercampuses, and on and off them. We have campuses making treatments about things, making opinions about things that are on and off campuses connected. Then they ask people questions about that. They're contributing to what is going on and having been going on off campuses. Now, there are people where I live now, where I grew up, that I was like over a decade not living home, but the intercities, people tied to the same house /S, involved with predicate acts with CIA, with FBI, and with the former director of the FBI and his co-defendant capacities, with his co-defendants personally and their kids criminally involved with predicate acts on my street, and on off of campus. I caught them with a principal child offender with more recorded and confessed then. They are refusing to give me a response because they force people to speak through others about things they didn't even have conversations about, things they wouldn't have anything idea about conversations about what happened online actually. They've been using sequence shifts. The police forms, not just the regular police, and the courts have been using Facebook to cover up their personal group and together lie progressions and uses of them, and their identity thefts, frauds, and worse than racketeering war crimes. Now they also make allegations against people who have to speak these simple, just extensive truths, where they have roles with that, with a whole bunch of juxtaposed natures. of bad things and uses of locations, like all along routes and stuff with the businesses next to it and stuff like that. They got tied into this through time. Per the narratives, they're leaving illusions in databases. Respond for your cops, because they are cowards where it counts. And respond for your military, because they're involved with this too, with military police and their family members. On and off Central Connecticut State University, recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved with predicate acts with prosecutors and judges and police forms and foreign families and deans, switching names, forging names and sequences with them on off campuses, and professors with confessions and such on off campuses connected, because that's how they're using the identities. Then they want to go back and leave out why and how that was, the off campuses things attached to the on campuses, predicate acts, wrongdoing, sequence shifts. So I'm not a lawyer. Since founding, it is recorded evidence how lawyers were in collusion with, and that's worse than criminal incompetence.